oftentimes will try to wiggle your way out of the places that I'm trying to put you in. Because it doesn't feel comfortable or convenient to you. It doesn't make sense to you. And so oftentimes, Priscilla, you, just like little Kelsey, will ignore me, turn your back on me, try to circumvent me, go the opposite direction. And Priscilla, unlike your brother who did a good job, but his patience began to wear thin after the 5th or the 6th or the 7th time, Priscilla, the good news about my relationship with you is that my grace is sufficient for even you. A full revelation of the greatness, the vastness, the boundlessness of God's patience. Then you will tiptoe, walk on eggshells in your relationship with God, because you'll constantly be worried that if I do one more thing, that if I have one more misstep, that if I mishear him, that if I make another mistake, this will be the time that he puts me on the shelf and he can't use me anymore and I can't participate in kingdom purposes. The enemy wants you too afraid to experience the abundant life that he's called you, the chief of all sinners, because he wants to make sure that just in case there's anybody that thinks you are the exception to the rule, because you know what you did 10 years ago this time. You know the decision that you made. You know the people that you allowed in your sphere of influence. You know the addiction that you had. You know what God has delivered you from. And so Paul says, just in case you think you're the one that doesn't fit into this passage, that doesn't qualify for a visitation of the perfect patience of God, he says, let me free you of that right now. He says, I'm the foremost, the chief of all sinners. Paul says, you ain't done nothing I haven't already. He says, this is who I was, but this is not who I am anymore. Paul wants you to know that the proof that God is patient is not only that he saved you, but also that he's changed you. Even when you still have work to do. Even when I still have work to do. Even when I see the struggle and the difficulty and the weakness and the frailty of my flesh, his grace is sufficient enough for us. And Paul says the reason why I know it is because I am not the same person that I used now, that the presence and power of God lives on the inside of you. And 2 Thessalonians 1:13 says that the Holy Spirit has a PhD in sanctifying you. It's his work in you. He's doing it right now. He's molding you, changing you, transforming you, redeeming you, making you a different person than you used to be, until one day you look at your sin resume and realize that the subtitle is former.